Morning. Oh, it's just gone 5:30. About 25 to 6. Been on the road since 3:15. So time I left home. So what I used to do, there's a little industrial estate next to the job where I'm working. So I used to park on there, but then there was people coming and going and whatnot. So I've just found this. There's a little. So next to a little field, just off the main, there's the crash barriers for the road, the main road, but it's just a nicer place to be. Oh, it's a little bit quieter, so I'm going to get in the back now. I'm going to have a bit of a kip, try and get about 2 hours in maybe before I go on site. This week is basically finishing off week. You know when you forget about something, but the person who you asked about didn't, and you get a nice surprise. Watch. Right, it's not much of an unboxing video, I'm afraid, but if you look, all perspectives induction headlamp. Let's have a look. Got a new LED light. Unfortunately, covers my name up now, doesn't it? So I'll have to rewrite that somewhere on my hat. But let's have a look. He said it's fully charged, so let's see if it works. Right then, that's pretty dark. Let's see if it works. See if I can get my hand on it. There you go. Yeah, I'd have said that works, would you? Christ, you get a suntan off it. So there we go. We no more fumbling around in the dark. Let's have a look. Press all these different buttons. Alright, off it goes. Is there anything else? There's another button somewhere. I don't know what that does. There's one. Oh, there it goes a little bit. And then a bit more focused. Oh, there's a little one at the front. And that one goes dimmer. And there we go. So, happy days, new headlight. I have to rewrite my name on my hat now. So there we go. So now it says Tony, why not? So I thought I'd do that just because I've seen loads of people saying why not on the comments on YouTube now. So I've wrote that backwards. I don't think I've done a bad job actually. Obviously that's the one that's backwards, and that's the one, if you were looking at me, that would say Tony, and that would just be, well, that'd say why not, I suppose. This bit's changed a bit. This was the, if you remember from previous videos, all of this here, that was just a big hole, and the cables, basically the cables came through from there, and then everything turns in to the two, primary A, primary B. But now look, they've got the framing up, because coming out of the transformers on the LV side, they're going to put buzz bar trunking up and a cross on both of them into the top of the panels inside the room. So in there, and then in primary A, I've got some narrow palm 185 lugs to fit to the 185s from a previous video. That was a while ago. Anyway, I've got them. I'm going to go through, and that's basically what I'll be doing this week. I'll be finishing off, just tidying things up that weren't here, that never arrived, and all that. Look at them loonies up there. Putting the new cables in, the new overhead lines. Jesus. Oh, where have I gone? There they are, look. I like this bit best, when you zoom back and you can actually see how far away. Like, that is madness. So this is, I was going to show you this. This is what I was talking about. Where is it? Here it is. Right. So even though it's like a quadrant cable and it's triangular shaped, I've cut the core so it rounds off across the thick edge, like I showed you like I showed you in the tip video, and then we get the barrel of the lug. That'll do. Little mark. And then if you notice, I'm not trying to roll it. What I'm doing is squeezing it. I can feel, so it's not rolling round in like a circular motion. I can feel it getting bigger than smaller. Feel it getting bigger than smaller. But what I'm doing, I'm not pressing at all, like not hard at all. But it's cutting through the PVC, right? I might have to go over it with my knife. But what it does is it's a completely, what am I looking for? So what I'm looking for. It matches up. It's not like me rolling my knife around like that and there'll be, I don't know, 3mm difference because I've twisted my wrist or something. So now let's just have a look. There we go. That comes off. Oh, I still need to give this a bit of a squeeze because although it's done the ends, so I can get it on the end, look, but it didn't do further down. So what you get, if you can get it on the end, get it on, because that went on pretty easy. It's on about 10mm or something. And now what I'll do is I'll squeeze this across the widest part, and then that doesn't allow the ends to sort of splay out like that. The cores at the end to splay out, they all stay as they should. Let's have a look. No, that's too, grip's too big. There we go. So give it a squeeze. Alright, mallet's in, the old Timmy mallet involved. There we go. Happy days. Right, we'll have a quick look at that. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and move that up. Oh, you're kidding. Not a prayer. 2 seconds. There we go. So, if you see, from the cut to the lug, it's equidistant all the way. Oh, it's like the Matrix, that. I couldn't keep on going because my wrist was going to snap off. So you know what I mean? It's just a little tip. It's just, I mean, you might have to, if you don't press too hard, you've got to go over it with your knife, but you've got a line to follow then. And then it's a matter of, see if we can do it one-handed. Keep missing it. There we go. So there you are, nice and neat. And they needed narrow palms because I got that one in the bottom, right? But then to get the next one up, a normal lug. See if I've still got the normal lugs. I think I did show this on the video anyway, but if you look, a normal lug doesn't fit. It's too big. The bottom one, for some reason, that went in. I don't know how, whether it was moulded differently, I don't know. But we needed narrow palms for the rest of them. I think like that one, there, I can get that in. I had to force it, I had to push it in, it didn't just slide in, but then you go to the next one, nah, not a prayer. So just the way that the panel's been, or the switch, let's say, has been made. Anyway, I'm going to get on with those now, get them all crimped up, and then I'll be moving on to something else. But this week is going to be pretty boring, because it is just this, terminations, not a lot going on. So what I might do is, what do you reckon? Got the old barnet cut, look. Got the line shaved in because that's what the hip happening kids are doing these days. Not that I want to associate myself with kids. Yeah, I might do basically how I got into this industry, or this side of the industry, to mix it in with this week's video, because I'll be honest with you, there ain't going to be a lot happening, to be honest. I might go, I'll tell you what I might do, a Wednesday night I might go for a few beers in Oxford again, because it's my last week on this job. Although I'm only going 5 mile away to Didcot, but I might just go because I think it's going to be nice weather, and I might have a walk around Oxford, do a little bit of a video like that. Because I went the other week. I did do a video, but yeah, a bit drunk. So I might just do that and just put it up, and you can just see me start off fine, all sensible, talking about the history of pubs and all that sort of stuff. And then by the end of it, I'm just a load of scribble, like, so, yeah. Anyway, I might do that. I might do a little bit of a history of me in the video. And I might do a little bit, it'll be I don't know whether to make it a separate video or put it into this video of the pubs I go into. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a look at Mike's videos, because I watched him while he was taking the shots, and I thought, could I do that? And then I'm going to look at his videos and try and combine the two as to what the end outcome was as to what he was doing. So basically I'm going to steal from him. I'm going to steal his knowledge. But I hope you enjoyed that last week. We certainly enjoyed making it. It was real good fun. Like I said in the video and in the description of last week's video, we're going to do it again, definitely, like without a shadow of a doubt. So we will be doing it again pretty soon, probably on this data centre of Didcot. And yeah, it was a good day. So I'm basically going to rob his ideas. So if it comes up on this video where I'm doing all slow motion panning and there's music on, I'm going to try and put some music on. See, what do you think about that? Be like a professional YouTuber. But anyway, right, I'm waffling. Going to get any money? Well, I'm not going to get any money made anyway, but I'm not going to get anything complete rabbiting on about nonsense. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, so I thought I might as well do the bit of a history video on how I got into this while I'm working. It'll be a bit more interesting than just sitting watching me rabbit on in the back of the van or something. So, when I was a youth, when I was a boy, my dear old dad set up his own electrical company. DRS Electrical Services, that's what it was called. And I was still at school. Like I said, I was a young'un. So he set that up and he had lads working for him, and he used to do the containment install. He used to pull the cables as well, even the big stuff. He used to pull it all. And then he'd do the connections of the big cables. Any of the small stuff, the sparks for the main electrical contract, he used to do them. Anyway, that was going great guns, going well. I came out, I used to like playing football. I played semi-pro. I was on the books for quite a few, well, sorry, no, that's a lie. I went on trial for loads of pro clubs. I think Sheffield Wednesday, Charlton Athletic, Leeds United, played for the county 2 years running. Hartlepool United, that's where I ended up at. Man City, went to a couple of trials in Man City. I was after these. Anyway, that never came to anything. I got 2 really bad injuries in like the formative year of when you sign your contracts and all the rest of it. So that was that done. So then I thought, well, I was still interested in sport. I'll do a sports degree at college. So I did. Went and done a BTEC National Diploma in Sports Science Studies. The idea behind that was I was going to go to university, maybe do, I don't know, biomechanics or something like that, or even physiotherapy, sports therapy, whatever. Still playing semi-pro football for some Northern League teams, obviously Northern League up where I was from. And then realised that university was just going to be mega debt, right? And I thought, nah, I'm not into that. I'm not into having... I think a mate of mine, his sister had gone to uni and she'd got like 35 grand in debt. I mean, you're talking when I was 15, 16. No, I'll be a little bit older. But yeah, she was like, I thought, that's a lot of money. So, university wasn't for me. Anyway, came out of college with this BTEC National, and then didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to do with it. So I just said to the old man, said to my dad, Dad, can I have a job? So he says, yeah. So he got me a job. And the first job I ever had was in London, in Kingston upon Thames. But I was just labouring. I was doing all the labouring stuff with the lads, pulling the cables and whatever else. And then he said to me, right, he said, you're not doing that for the rest of your life, you need to go and get a trade. So I went to college, got that sorted, and then came out of that with a little bit more responsibility in my dad's business. And I was running jobs and stuff, and I was doing all right. Business was going all right. And then 2008, the old credit crunch. So that come along. I wiped everybody out, but we just couldn't substantiate, couldn't get the graft because nobody had any graft. And then the big companies came, like sort of, they were doing million, 2, 3, 4 million pound jobs. They came down to take the jobs that we were getting, 30, 40, 50 grand jobs, you know. And we just couldn't keep on going. And there was, had 8 or 9 lads on at the time, maybe 10. I started letting go. I said, look lads, I said, I can't find the work for you, so we let them go. I tried my best to do it, keep it going for a little bit longer. Dad sort of went into semi-retirement. And I managed to keep it going until 2010. It was sort of, nah, you can't do it no more. And then a lad who I went to college with, he'd made his way up into like managerial supervision, basically in the office on the laptop. He'd made his way to that. Phoned me up and said, I've got a job in Scarborough if you want it. All the cables, all the containment, all of what you normally do for us. Just can't do it. Cannot do it. I haven't got the men. They've all gone and got different jobs. It's just not a thing available to me anymore. I'm sorry. But I said, what I will do, he says as he gets a cable stuck, what I will do is I'll do the big cables for you. I'll connect them all. So he said, yeah, come along and do that. So he gave me the job of connecting them. Did that. Then I got the next job off the firm that he was working for. And then there was another job, so I got on that one. And I thought, you know what? This is loads better. Because I'm not relying on trying to get men out of bed on a Monday morning to drive to, I don't know, London, Birmingham, Manchester, Peterborough, wherever it may be, top of Scotland. There's only me to worry about. I just thought, that's a lot better, isn't it? That's a lot better, a lot less stress. There's only me to get out of bed, and then there's only me to worry about paying. So I thought, yeah, this is a good thing. So I sort of made further inroads into get in your bugger, into cable jointing as it was. But the strange thing is, or the funny thing is, I didn't know it was called cable jointing. It was glanding and terminating, as far as I was concerned, because that's what we did. We went on jobs and we glanded and terminated the cables. I'd never heard of cable jointing before. Didn't have a clue. Not one clue. So gets on the first couple of jobs I went on, walks on the job, and the guy goes, "Are you the cable jointer?" And I was going, "No mate, I'm just here to put the cables away. You know, I'm going to do your glanding and terminating." So then he sort of like, he looks at the other engineer in the office and sort of goes, so I'm looking at them and they're looking at me and I'm thinking, what have I said? What have I said wrong? And anyway, he showed me out on site and we have a look and yeah, okay, I'll do that mate, yeah, no problem. And at the time, I didn't have any of this. No tools really, well, I had tools, but I didn't have any hydraulic stuff, battery stuff. So it was like them doing that, crimping that, cutting with like the ratchet croppers. I had a pair of them, so you're cutting with your hands are killing you. And you get on with it and you make a good job of it. That went on for quite a few years, and over the years you pick up the gear. But my dad taught me how to do this, and that was all he did. Everything was big. That's what he wanted to do. There was no, you didn't do disc boards, you didn't do light switches, you didn't do conduit. It was all like 750 rack, that sort of stuff. So you might notice the glaring continuity error. I stopped the video, I can't remember what reason it was, and then never started it again. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, when I was a kid. So, all the rest of the apprentices are doing... They're doing, like, light switches and... light switches and DBs and screwdrivers and fiddly farty bits, and I'm carrying 900mm and 750 rack about and all that sort of stuff. And then any big cables, my father went, yeah, we'll do them. So I'm wrestling with 185s and 240s and climbing about on racks and whatnot. And at the time, I used to complain and like, why can't I do what they're doing, because it's easy. And like the old man, he says, no, I said, nothing's easy, right? If you work hard, you'll benefit from it. And he also did say to me, never let anything beat you. Never let it beat you. And it sort of rubbed off into my adult life, because I don't let things beat me now. Be it work or be it in life, you know. If you're struggling, having like a crap day type of thing, or if you're doing the same thing, it's just mundane, monotonous. Just turn it into a game, turn it into a competition with yourself. If you did that many in the first hour, try and do more the next hour. And you know, even if you're stuck in traffic, because I work in London a lot, so I tend to get stuck in traffic all the bloody time. Turn that into a game, see if you can see what's the most expensive car you can see. Can you see, you know, I don't know, good looking women or whatever it is. Look for things, look for enjoyment in everything that you're trying to achieve. That's what I do. Like the van situation. I live in a van, I live in the back of a transit van. But it's fun. It's like adult camping out every night. I like to kip, I like to sleep. So the fact that I don't want to get up early every day. I mean, this morning I woke up at 8:20. I parked less than a 2-minute drive from the job. So I woke up at 8:20, got up, brushed my teeth, put my clothes on, drove to work. I was on site for 8:30. There's lads who were like an hour away in digs, an hour. No thanks. And I do it in central London as well. Park in multi-storey car parks or underground car parks or whatever, you know. Sometimes you can even get on site if it's a decent sized site. if you can ask the right people, and you get there and you make it count. But anyway, back to how I got into this. So yeah, doing all the big cables. So I'm doing that, learning from my father, and then when we sort of the credit crunch and all the rest of it, and then I got on to my mate gave me a job, and I said, I'll do the big cables for you. So I did the big cables, then he gave me another job, then he gave me another job. Then I found out through a friend, he was working for a company, so I phoned them up and talked to them, and they said, yeah, we're looking for lads. So I ended up going working for them. I worked for them for quite a few years, about 6 or 7 years I worked for them. They were a good firm to work for. Had a lot of work, a lot of RAF bases, army bases, found some good stuff on them. Met some good people through that, and then got on to a few more companies, different areas of expertise. Got on with them pretty well. And I've never been abroad. I've always stayed. I did get offered once to go abroad to France, but that fell through. And then yeah, then this sort of progressed to what I'm doing now. Bought some better gear, got some better contacts, and obviously got more experience in the job, and working on my own is the ratchet strap situation and the chain blocks and all that sort of stuff, because it helps you do what you're doing. You don't have to pay a mate or a labourer 500-600 quid a week, so that's a good start straight away. And then I started with Instagram because I knew that I wasn't going to take an apprentice on. Because of that reason, I'm relying on other people getting out of bed and all that sort of stuff. So if that person doesn't get out of bed, then it's down to me to do 2 men's work and all, that sort of thing. Plus, the only person I'd really take on would be my little boy. And at the moment, as we speak here, he's 4. So he's going to be, 18 when he starts work? That'll put me at 56. I won't be able to be doing this when I'm 56. I fall to bits. I'm 43 now. So then I'd have to spend 4 years teaching him how to do it. So that gets me to 60. Nah, no thanks. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll start an Instagram page, and I can put photographs on of the work that I do, but I can also put little snippets of videos and tips and whatever else. So I did that, and then the problem I found with Instagram was, I think it was 15 minutes. You could have, the video was 15 minutes long. Now obviously if you've watched my YouTube stuff, a short video is half an hour, because I've got to explain things and do whatever I'm doing. So then someone had said to me, why don't you start a YouTube thing? And I thought YouTube was just for people who were basically really good at recording and being professional and all that. However, I looked at some sparks who were doing electrical stuff, and it was all, I don't know, doing disc boards and downlighters and running twin and earths through joists and all that sort of stuff. And I thought, well, I'm not really into that. However, I couldn't find someone who does what I do, right? There was little snippets of videos, but there was nobody actually doing what I do. So I thought, well, I'll start making some videos of that. And then I always tag like electrical apprentice or tips or electrical hacks and all that sort of stuff. And people started, I think a lot of people from Instagram, I think I had like 1,000 followers on Instagram. Subscribe. Yeah, it is followers, isn't it? On Instagram, and then some of them came over, which sort of boosts your watch hours a little bit. So I got all that up and running. Did the watch hours, because you have to do the 4,000 watch hours, and you've got to have at least 1,000 subscribers before you can monetize the channel, which is sort of your aim, because at the end of the day, it's hardly capitalism, but you're in it to make money. You're not going to be, putting money into offshore accounts, but you're there to make money. So I started doing that, and then it's took off a little bit. And then, but somebody did say to me about LinkedIn. You must get on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's this, and LinkedIn, you'll get work off LinkedIn and all that. And I did set up a LinkedIn profile, but I don't really use it. And me and Mike were talking about LinkedIn last week. And basically LinkedIn, it's not for tradesmen. Tradesmen have got a different sense of humour. Slightly dark sense of humour sometimes. And people on LinkedIn, they're not tuned in to that. It's not a laughing, it's professional, it's serious, it's for a reason, right? Whereas trades are like, you want to laugh, you want a bit of a carry on, you want to entertain people as well as showing them what you can actually do. So LinkedIn, I sort of veered away from it. I've still got the profile or the page or whatever, I don't even know what it's called, but I've still got that. I don't, like I say, don't use it. But then YouTube, I could show people what I was actually doing. And off Instagram, I'm starting to get offers of work now through Instagram. People obviously viewing what I do, and then it instills confidence in people when they look at an installation you've put in and go, you know what, I not that I'd love it on my job, but I know that if I get him on my job, that's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get that sort of quality of work, right? So I did say to somebody, when you put, people like message me on Instagram and stuff, and can you give me any advice and all that sort of gear. And I did say to somebody, I remember saying it, if you're going to do a job, be prepared, or do the job to a standard that you are going to post it on Instagram. Right? So what that does, it does two things. When you post it on Instagram, or even if you don't, people look at it and go, wow, look at that. That's quality work, right? You haven't cut corners, you haven't just gone, I'll just put that in. Because if you did that and put it on Instagram, people go, that's garbage, that's terrible. And it also keeps you wanting to be better and better and better, and not being substandard and not settling for second best or that'll do. So if you are wanting to get it, or it doesn't matter if you do whatever you do as a job, as a trade, as a profession, do that as if you were going to post it on Instagram or you were going to post it on LinkedIn. Make it the best that you can do. It might take you a little bit longer, but make it the best. And that again goes back to what my father said, don't let it beat you, and always make sure it's quality graft. You've put quality into the job, because although people say you're a number, and all people, you're a number, they'll replace you next week. If you're garbage, you'll get replaced the week before. If you put quality graft in, they will tend to keep you to the end of that job. They will make sure that you're there because they are going, we give him a job and he just knocks it out of the park. He's brilliant. Do that. Make that your job. Make sure you're the best on that job, no matter what you're doing. Don't leave a gap. Like if the bloke next to you has left a 2mm gap at the bend of his or the set of his tray, you make them touch, or your trunk and bend. Make it absolutely seamless. When you put your cables in, make sure all the bends like flow up like that, and that they're all equidistant, and they're all, make sure they're absolutely brilliant. Your tape, when I said about the tape, where you put the tape on one tape width at the back of the lug and then wind it up, go to the palm of the lug and then put a straight, that sort of stuff, quality. That's what you want. You want it to be quality. So that was from me starting basically as an apprentice, going through with my father, him training me, but also watching me and watching what I was doing and telling me, giving me advice. Your father or your mother will give you advice throughout your life if you're lucky enough. But my father taught me how to make a living, which is unusual really. There's not many people do that. Like I said, they'll give you advice. Not many people will actually show you, this is what I do. If you want to do it, I will show you this. And he's given me the opportunity to feed my children, buy a house, run a car, just through him showing me how to do this. And obviously I took it to the next level because I've got better tools. I mean, Christ, when we started, the first job I ever did, the first cable I ever did was a 4-core 240, right? It was at a factory up north in a place called Peterlee. They made ball bearings, or they made steering columns or some nonsense. So we took a cable out of a panel, pulled a cable through the job, and at one end we connected it because they deadened the panel and it had to be in and connected and tested or in connected at that end, so then they could isolate the other end. But the panel had to go back on. So we landed it, and what there was two. I'll have to do it that way. Look, if you imagine this is, I'm stood here at the front of the panel looking in. Two 240s side by side like that. Then there's one 240, which is the one we're putting in, and then here, two 240s, right? So you're working past two cables right in front of you, got it in, had to measure it, and then bend each lug out, each core out like that to get the cut for the lug, right? But there was none of this. Big Bird didn't exist, so it was a hacksaw blade with tape and cardboard wrapped round it, cutting a 240 lug, right? So cut that, stripped it back, got the lug on, and we did have like the C or the G-shaped heads. We had one of those, so on your shoulder, pump it up, crimp the lug on, in. So we did that 4 times, right? And that was the first ever cable, big cable, that I ever had anything to do with terminating. God knows why I'm still doing it. But again, it was adapt and overcome, try, and don't let this beat you. How do you find a way around this? And that was just perseverance. Just get it done because it needed to be done. And don't walk away and go, I can't do that. I'm not able to do that. That's in there in your brain, you've got to go, no, I can do this, I will do this. This inanimate cable isn't going to beat me. No chance. And my whole working life, that's what it's been. It's been, get it done. Don't let it beat you. Which is the ratchet straps and the lifting cables here, there and everywhere. And don't get me wrong, sweating, arms hurting, knees weak, arms spaghetti, all that sort of stuff. Fingers killing you, but it goes in. It does go in, and it's starting to pay off a little bit now, because I'm getting good job offers. I'm getting loads of nice comments on Instagram and on Facebook. What? On YouTube, and people like Mike from Residual Current phoning me and messaging me saying, "Look, mate, do you want to do something together? We can do this and do that." And although he's been doing it longer than me, but he's a lot younger than me, he's up there, you know. He's well into it, and he knows a lot about it. So if I can learn the technical side of it from Mike, he's quite happy to learn the actual install side of it from me. Yeah, let's do it. Let's work together. And I'm up for more. I've had another offer of somebody. They want to come and work with me. So yeah, I'm well up for that. And then it adds a little bit of spice, a little bit of flavour to your channel, to the content that you're putting in, because that's a word you've got to start using now, content. Well, I've got to start using. You can do whatever you want. But if I want the YouTube channel to keep going, that's what I've got to use. I know this is a rambly nonsense video, but I'm hoping that it gives some people a bit of an insight into how I started, how I progressed, and where I am today, and what I want to do in the future as well. Well, what I want to do in the future is make enough money quickly so I can retire, because that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Retire at 50. Oh. See, I remember when 50 used to be old. I'm 43 now. I don't feel like I'm old. Sometimes I make a noise when I bend down to pick something up, or my ankle clicks when I walk down the stairs, but I don't feel old. Still wear skinny jeans and stuff. Still go to the gym. Still drink too much beer and think I'm 21. But I think that's about it really. If you've got any questions, shot us a question in the comment. I do try my best to answer them like I've said in previous videos, but it does take a while sometimes, because I do get, when I first started, that was it, when you first started you were like really eager for people, you know, I'll reply to them straight away. But I might get like 20 messages or 20 comments on the videos in a day, and it's really, when you're working as well, it's difficult, and when you're chasing around trying to find a bloody laundrette to wash your clothes, it's hard to reply to everybody. So I try to do my best, and I will. I mean, sometimes I might not be able to comment. I might just like I'll read it. I'll read all of them. But it's the time to reply. Sometimes you just don't have it, and it might take me 10, 11 days, but I will try. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this up now, and I'm going to try and put a little bit of, because I think I've got some cables to gland and some stuff to do this week to try and make some money. But this week's a no money week really. I won't get any money for this week, because I'm just tidying up and finishing off jobs that I've already booked them in, they're already paid for, so the money's already in my bank. It's not like they're scamming me or anything, but I want to get everything tidied up, everything sorted, so I can say to the lads when I leave the job, right, that is everything I set out to do, I did, and I'll see you on the next one. But yeah, I'll try and put a little bit in if I've got something interesting to put in. Not that I'm saying this is interesting, it might be a load of scribble, you know, just listening to me talk, looking at you inside of a panel. But yeah, oh, my hat's gone up, look at that. That's good, that, you know. I'm not going to try and write joint tap backwards though. Right, so thank you very much for listening to my waffle, and hopefully there's a little bit extra in the video as well. Another thing I thought of the other day, I was on Twitter. I like puns, right? I think puns are fantastic. But some people, it's the way your brain's wired apparently. Some people appreciate the pun, and other people go, oh, that's terrible, right? So it's just the way that you perceive something. Anyway, somebody put a joke on there. Obviously it's not my joke because it's incredible, but only the older generation will probably get this. My generation and maybe a bit older. But the joke was, the Welsh town, do you know the full name of the Welsh town Swansea? So obviously Arthur Swansarelli. That is awesome. Arthur Swansarelli. It's got everything. It's just a perfect gag. Superb. And I just thought I'd share that with you because I thought it was really funny. Look at this cable. Looks like I've been to a party at Tony Montana's house. Look, stuff on it. Ridiculous. Anyway, getting these terminated now. I've got 4 70s. That's what he's given me. I've got 4 4-core 70s to terminate, gland and terminate, so that'll be my wages this week. That's what I've achieved. But I've got the job tidied up and wrapped up, so that's more to the point. But yeah, so my wages this week is about 400 quid. Didn't I do well? Well, oh, see the flash? The electricity tripped. So, I don't know what to do. Oh, hang on. Where's the bloody switch? You can't even see, look. The difference. The difference that light makes. Is that you? Who's that? Hang on. I'm going through all of the things. There we go. Anyway, I'm onto these now. I'm gonna get this little, I think it's a 10mm, 5-core 10mm, get that put away. Then I'm out of here to another part of the job, get the cables, actually, the cables we did last week, me and Mike, the ones that we'd obviously, Mike terminated his, but I didn't get mine terminated. Get them in, and then I've got four core 70s to do the rest of today and tomorrow, and as far as I'm aware, that's it. I've just been informed that I won't be going on that job in the data centre in Didcot within the next few weeks or couple of weeks, because there's been a delay on it. So I'm back to Merry London next week, and the job's in Tottenham Court Road, so that's nice. I don't know whereabouts in Tottenham Court Road, but I know a good parking space in Tottenham Court Road. Well, near Tottenham Court Road. So that'll be fun, right in the centre of London, just as the weather's starting to get nice. Yeah, boy. So I might do a couple of pub trips and whatnot. So if you tune in next week, well, next Sunday I suppose, we'll have some decent footage, I reckon. Decent content. But I have a Monday off work next week because I get married. You kept that quiet, didn't I? Yeah, get married on Monday. It was just at the registry office. The party's not till the 3rd of June, but there you go. So I'm going to do that and then get this job wrapped up. They're still waiting on some lugs for some 240s, but I did promise that when I've got a minute, I will call over and I'll put them away. It'll only take hour and a half, something like that. So I'll probably do it on a Thursday when I'm leaving the other job. I'll come over to this one, rattle those off, and then I can get on my merry way. But yeah, so I'll catch up with you in a bit when we get to the other cables. Right, this is something I wanted to emphasise. So the cable's coming in, and it's through. You can see it's there, but I can't get that started. The locking up won't start. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to take the paper off, and I have to bend each individual core at 90 so it sits inside the trunking, but I'm going to have to allow that 10-15mm, so don't bend it all the way to the bottom, bend it a little bit further up, and then what you'll see is it'll make its true form, its true finished form, and that cable will just drop straight in. At the moment I can't bend all 4 of them at 90 degrees across there to let that sit where it needs to sit. So what we're going to have to do, let's have a look. I have to take this paper off, which is a pain, but never mind. Right. So we have to lift, we'll take this paper off as well. We have to lift the lock nut out of the way, and this can be a bit of a thought about, because it wants to, obviously, due to gravity, unless of course you're a flat earther who doesn't believe in gravity, then, you know, some unknown force. Right, now then, I have to bend each core. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the brown, because that's at the back. So if I get that up and out the way, lift that up. See, I'm bending them a lot higher than what they need to be bent, really. Blue next. Right up. Black. And then grey. Right, now then. So I've got them lifted up. The cable hasn't moved, you see. But give it a little wiggle, and because Come on, you start. There we go. I was trying to do it one-handed. That's not going to work, is it? Right. So yeah. So what's happened is I've made it sit straight, whereas it wasn't sitting straight before, because it was coming out at an angle like that. And no matter how much you try, you will never get that lock nut on. And it sort of amplifies it the bigger the cable is. Oh, you sausage. Yeah, it amplifies it the bigger the cable is. So your cable will come in. This is what people say to you, oh, well, just put it into the panel and bring it out the front. You can't do that, because that cable, once the inner cores are bent like that, that gland is always going to sit like that. It's always going to sit on the wonk. And you need to be able to bend each end of it, and you just can't do it. People don't understand this part of the installation. So there you go. What's that in? I need to bend that blue, I think, a little bit more. It's not sitting flush, unless that... Oh no, that's what it was. Wasn't that? Because there's no end cap, it was just pushing the top down. Give that a little bit of a tighten now. Stick my fat head in the way. There she is. Lovely. So that's that installed. So I'm just going to put some tie ups on the way, all the way back up. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. I tried to explain it in another video, but it didn't. I don't think it came across, but I think that does. So tomorrow's task. See those two? Well, there's three, but the two bigger ones, that one and that one, they run down parallel together. So that's them there. Now then, they've got to come down into that gland plate there. They're pretty short, they only go to about here, that one and that switch, so they don't go all the way to the bottom, but I'll have to get them pulled back and dropped off the side of the rack, which could prove a bit difficult if they're pretty rigidly made cables, so I might need a hand, but that's the task for tomorrow. Get those done. I've got to get those done. I've got to get two 500mm earths crimped and put onto the earth bar, and that's me, finito, done. But I am available in the next couple of weeks, because I'm only down the road. So if anything else crops up, I've let them know. Just give me a shout and I'll pop over on a night later on, or when I've finished whatever. But yeah, there's tomorrow's task. Hopefully we can make the cable way look half decent. So that's me done for today. It is, what time is it? Oh, 20 to 5, beautiful. So got an early finish. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go and have something to eat, but I'm only having something light, because the last couple of nights, man, like proper big fat belly, because I've been hungry all day because I haven't eaten, and then I thought, oh yeah, I'll have something to eat, I'll digest it really quick. Nah, it's been sat on my stomach. I've been going to the gym at like 9:30, coming out at like 10:20. That's no good. I'm not getting sleep till 1 in the morning and oh, that's right, 1 in the morning. So I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go straight to the gym and have a look at that, see if I can lift something, see if I can get a bit of weight lost or muscle toned. So I'm quite impressed with that. I like that, Tony, and why not? And my new light, I'll have to charge it up tonight. It comes with a USB charging port, so that's good, isn't it? Look, someone else has been at it, look, trying to put me out of business. In Glanton cables. Done a decent job, to be fair. Don't know what it is. What is it? Oh, it's the ATS changeover switches, I think. So yeah, somebody else has been doing that. Yeah, haven't done a bad job. Obviously, yeah, been watching Joint Tech YouTube videos, haven't I? Yeah, of course they have. Not to do with the 20 years probably experience they've got anyway. Right, that's me done waffling on again as usual. I'm going to go and get myself away, wash my Germans. And yeah, off ski. See you tomorrow. So today I've brought the super jumbo mega ratchet strap, just in case it is a bit of a pain getting these cables back, and just to show you how big it actually is. There's a normal one. Oh, that's a big fella. Right, like Baldrick on Blackadder, I've devised a cunning plan. So what the deal is, I've got, as you can see, the white mark on both cables. The other one's on the other side, but it's the same height. So I'm going to put the gland on, right? I'm going to drill the hole. There's my cardboard, so no swarf gets in the panel. So I'm going to drill the hole, and then put the glands on. And in, right, there's a threaded bar drops there, and the same threaded bar on the same bracket drops there. Now, what I'm hoping is, I can lift them in there, and then drop the tail back down and in. I'm hoping that that is the solution to this problem. Failing that, if that won't work, what I've got to do is, I think that hanger there, let's go on this side, take that hanger off, and then I'm going to have to pull them up, drop a loop out there, and then take them back over and in, because they have to come, which one is it? Oh, that's it, yeah. One comes through that hole, and one goes through that one, because of the way the rung's dead on line of where they drop down. So one's going to go one side, one's going the other side. So, yeah, it's just, oh, it might be a pain, it might not, but I've got all my lifting equipment, so I'm hoping that I can force the cable to do what I want it to do. It's only a 5-core 70, so effectively it's a 4-core 95 size of cable. So I'm hoping that it won't be too much of a hassle, but we'll see. This is one of the joys of working on your own. So I've pushed the cable through the hole. Not that it's gone through that, I don't particularly care that it's gone through that, but it's came in, right? It's gone behind this piece here, into there, look, and I can't get it out now, other than having to pull it all the way back up, but it's stuck at the top. So I'm going to have to unloosen these bolts that I can't do with that, so I'm just going to get a 10mm socket, undo them, pull it forward, and yeah, this is the fun when you're on your own. And just like that, they were in. What all the fuss was about. Basically, I went up. You can see, if, hang on 2 secs. There, you see the scuffs on the wall. So basically I went up in there, and there was enough room because I had to put the glands on, and that's more flexible then, because you haven't got the armouring to deal with. And yeah, I just pulled it over the top. I really don't know what I brought all this nonsense for, I'll never know, but I suppose you're better to be safe than sorry. I've got about probably an hour terminating these, and then I've got those 2 500 earths to do, and then that'll be me. That's it, job done. I think there may be bits to come back to. Steve's just asked about the other ends of these because apparently they're an absolute nightmare, so he wants me to do them. There is some other cables up there like you've just seen. I don't know whether he wants me to do those but also I don't know where they go, so he was going to come down and show me. But yeah, I want to terminate these now, and then that should be me. Well, the two 500mm earths, and that'll be it. So before, I think I've already done it earlier on in the video, but you know, the like and subscribe thing, I'm not that bothered about the subscribing, but if you watch them, that's the main thing, isn't it? I know the subscriptions, the algorithm and all that sort of stuff, but if you watch the videos and you enjoy them, that's the most important thing. Little thumbs up. So if you like it, and you viewed it and you liked it, that's what we're going for. The subscriptions can wait till a later date, till we're I don't know, getting invited to premieres in Leicester Square on the red carpet with I don't know who's famous now. I've got a bloody clue. Ricky Gervais probably, because he wrote it, writes everything else. Anyway, I'll get these terminated, get the 500mm earth terminated, and I'll fire up the van, because, like I said earlier on, I'm getting married on Monday, and then I'm going to a job in Tottenham Court Road. So I thought I was staying over here, but that job's not ready. I said to the missus, I said, yeah, I'm going to Tottenham Court Road. I said, that's the thing with Tottenham Court Road round there, there's nothing to do. No pubs, there's no restaurants, nothing happening at all in Tottenham Court Road. I don't know whether you need to look on your maps on Tottenham Court Road and see where it is. You should know. But it's rather exciting round there. There's all sorts to do. It's fantastic. She went, oh yeah, it must be really hard for you. It's alright, don't worry, I could say anything I want about her now. She never watches this far. She starts watching them, and after about 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes top, she gets bored. And she turns it off. And she goes, oh yeah, I watched that one, the one where you did like the very first things. The things at the start. She tells me about them, but she never watches till the end. She just hasn't got it. She hasn't got the staying power.
Next up to go, we
got the heart. Anyway, I've been going for 20 minutes, so I'll see you in a bit. I'll tell you what, that's convenient. Look at that. Exactly the right height. Well happy with that. There we go. Another week done. So I'm on my way home now. I've got to pay another visit to the job because there's some chiller cables want doing or something. 5-core 70s, what I put away today actually. But it's the field end, it's the actual chiller end. But that's that job more or less complete. So I shall see you on the next one. Where might that be? Well, we know because I've told you, but I'll be in London on Tuesday, so I shall see you all then. Little thumbs up.